Well, what's up, everybody? I'm here with my ride or live.
Ride or live
You know,
is different.
my ride or die.
What does that even mean?
So what that means is like,
I'm gonna ride with you or I'm gonna die with you.
You gonna ride with me or you gonna die with me?
I mean, that sounds like some Jesus Christ stuff.
That is.
He died for us, right?
That is actually some Jesus. Did
Jesus die for us?
Yes, but one of the apostles came up with that. It was Peter.
What Peter say?
Peter said, Lord, Peter said, Lord, I'm willing to go die with you. He said, and that's when Jesus said, are you sure about that?
Uh-huh.
Oh, this is good.
This is okay.
He said, are you sure about that?
Uh-huh.
Before the rooster crows 3 times, you're going to deny me.
Or how about this?
What?
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Because I heard a message. No, not a message. But to live is Christ. And to die is gain.
Yeah, but you just got me off the subject.
But that's why we ride or die. Oh, it's ride or die, not live or die.
All right,
let's go back to your point.
All right, so
tell me about Peter.
So he said, I'm willing to die with Jesus. And the Lord said, before the rooster crows 3 times, you're going to deny me. Now,
that's good.
Why did he deny him? That's the question. Why did he deny him? I think that has something to do with kind of what's been on our heart, like what's been on our heart as, you know, we've been processing. We're in this journey of stepping out, walking in faith. And you're talking about Peter, the one who walked on water with Jesus.
Yes.
Saw Jesus at the Mount of Transfiguration.
Same Peter.
Same Peter. The same Peter that chopped the ear off.
That Peter.
That dude. He was that dude.
But Jesus was like, that's my dude.
Yeah, but I think he was. He was like, that's my dude. I mean, but when Peter was faced with this moment where the situation, he thought it was going to be a different situation. He thought that the time was coming that Jesus was about to take the throne, right? And when he saw Jesus battered and bruised and whipped in the court, I think it did something to his heart. He stared defeat in the face, and I think fear overcame him at that moment. Like at that moment, fear overcame him. And I'm wondering, like, as we think about who we are, think about our story, oftentimes fear don't step into the picture when things are going as planned.
Right.
But when things start not going as planned, come on, somebody.
Because that happens a lot.
That happens a lot.
More often
than not. When things don't go as planned, that's when the fear begins to step in and begins to shift.
Yeah.
You know, like, so for me, I mean, is there times that, you know, you've seen me tremble in fear, Melba?
Are we talking spiritual stuff? Or are we talking alligators?
Man, yes. All of it.
All right, so we gonna talk about this alligator thing. So that we gonna pin that, parking lot it, whatever you want to call it. But folks need to know about this alligator thing. But just spiritually, have I seen you be fearful? Have I seen you use the word tremble? That's a bit shaky.
Yeah, that's a little heavy.
I
don't think I ever trembled.
I don't think I've ever seen you do a Mufasa tremble.
Yeah, I don't either.
But I do know that even though I see on the outside the courage, because you always, you don't back down. Like, you don't back down from nothing. I don't ever see you back down from nothing. However.
That's get to the however. Tell me about the however, because I'm gonna tell us about the however.
Yeah. However, I know that in your mind you are processing, oh my gosh, like what am I doing? What are we doing? Like, so I know that there is fear present.
Yes.
But I rarely see it overtake you. I'm really trying to think about when I've seen it overtake you. I don't think I've ever seen it overtake you unless you just not telling me stuff.
Well, I mean, let me just say this. I'll say the same thing about you. I've watched you for a long time.
I feel like this story is not going to end like my story about you ended.
No, it is.
I feel like it has a different
It really
ending.
is. It really is. No, I mean, I've seen you like really, really face some challenges, and I've never seen you really walk in fear. But I think that's the idea, though. Like,
to have it, but not walk in it.
To have it and not walk in it. Like, I mean, and let me just say this, there's multiple levels of fear. There's all different types of fear. Like, there's terror, like terrorized fear. There's gripping fear. There's, fear that will paralyze you. There's all types of fear. So there's many levels of fear that we face. I've never really seen you be paralyzed with fear, but just like you and me, I know it's there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I know it's there.
Yeah.
Like 50% of the time when we're taking steps of faith, man, I'm scared.
I'm not just scared. I am Mufasa trembling.
I am, but
let me take Mufasa out there, because people gonna be like, "Well, why you keep saying stuff?" Yeah, I'm not saying that. I'm just it just came to my mind. Whatever.
But I think what is courage if there's not a
fear.
Giant that you're facing? I mean, what is courage if you're not facing something that is bigger than you?
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And I think for me, that's kind of what's been on my heart. I've been thinking about Joshua.
Mm-hmm.
After they go through the promised land, Joshua is now the successor, and God says to Joshua, be strong and courageous.
Yes.
And that kind of reminds me of the season we're in right now, that it's time to take on courage and be courageous, because we don't know what all the journey entails. Right. And that's typically been the journey a lot of times. Like, the journey we've always been faced with things that brought a level of uncertainty.
Right.
And I think that even now, more as you step out of the routine and you step out of the comfort zone, now you face more uncertainty. And then that's where fear begins to, kind of make its way in.
Yeah. So how do we battle it? How do we win the battle over fear? How do you do it? How did you win the battle over crocodiles? Because that might give spiritual insight.
Let me tell you.
That might give spiritual insight as to what we need to do to overcome
you know what?
Fear.
All right, first of all, let me tell you where it came from. There's a movie we watched one time. Oh, gosh. It was a movie. I don't even remember the name of the movie, but there was this guy. The guy, what was his name? Black guy. Orlando.
I don't know, but was it? Did it happen in Africa?
Yeah, it happened.
I remember the movie. Oh,
it happened in Africa. So the man was in the movie, and he was taunting. There was a killer crocodile Why are we telling the story?
But aren't they all killer crocodiles?
All of them kill. Hey, all crocodiles are killer crocodiles.
If anybody says to you, he won't bite, like they say about their dogs, he is lying.
They're lying.
And the truth is not in them.
No, absolutely not. I was
You watched this movie.
So it was the guy was standing on the bank and he was taunting the crocodile because he got out the water. You remember that?
Who got out the water?
The guy got out the water.
He made it out the water.
He made it out the water and he started taunting the crocodile. And we all know it's fake. We understand it's not real. However, he started taunting that crocodile and that crocodile began to run like a salamander.
Wait.
And caught him.
But wait. How does a salamander run?
I'm not going to.
Please.
No.
Oh, can you do it, please?
No, I'm not going to do that.
We'll cut it out. Just show me how to do it. Lord.
Okay. All right. Let's get back on.
Lord.
All right. Let's get back on focus. So
yes, he was running like a salamander.
And the crocodile started running and caught him. Now, we know that it didn't end right there for me. So we used to live in Camden County, Georgia.
That's right. Shout out to all Camden County folks out there. Love y'all.
It is right at the border of Georgia and Florida. What is Florida known for? Gators. Florida Gators. So I was on the Navy base one day and I saw 2 alligators fighting.
Wow.
And I didn't know they moved that fast. So I saw 2 like 10-foot alligators fighting. And then I saw one run. And when I saw that alligator run, I was like, oh no, that's different. It's a lizard. So I've been terrified of alligators. I don't fool with alligators. I don't do alligators. I wouldn't say terrified. Well, I just respect their habitat.
You got to respect it. But what is it about the thing that you fear that if it just stays there, I'm afraid, but I'm not terrified. What is it about things that when it starts moving is when it does something, in your heart?
I know
it's like with me. Don't say it yet because you're about to give me a revelation about my own life.
Yes, I am.
Because I got that same problem.
Okay.
When people start talking about these crazy movies that they be making out here with zombies in it. And, I used to watch that stuff back in the day.
Yeah, we don't do that. No.
Can't do it. I used to watch it back in the day, but here is when I was like, oh, this is different. Because when you think about a zombie, they slow. They dead.
Yeah.
They don't move fast. Like I can conquer that.
The old ones.
Yeah. I can conquer that. Like I can outrun them. I could bust them in the head real quick and run real fast. Like I can overcome that. But then one day.
I don't see that picture of you busting.
But I'm saying I gotta bust them and then I gotta run.
Okay, go ahead.
But then one day, back in the day, I saw a movie and they were no longer slow. Like they run like Hussein, ain't that his name?
You talking? Oh no,
Bolt.
It's not Hussein. It's Usain.
Lord.
Usain,
brother.
Usain is Jamaica.
But Usain.
Hussein is Iraq. All right, you're in 2 different continents. All right, Usain Bolt.
Usain's brother, Hussein.
Okay.
When he started running like that, when a zombie starts running like that, I'm like, nah, bruh. Nah, we out. We can't do this.
Yeah.
So what is it about the things that you face when they're still, you feel like you can accomplish it? But when it starts moving, it's kind of like what happens in our life. We can have an idea of something that we may be afraid of, but when that thing starts shifting and when it starts moving and when things in our life begin to go up and down and we begin to experience the fear that we thought was just stagnant, then it brings a different level of fear in our hearts that we have to be able to overcome, else it'll grip us. We use the word terrify, or we'll be petrified of it. When it starts moving, how do we cause things to stay still? How do we cause things to stay still in our minds, in our hearts, so that we are no longer as afraid of it as it was if it was moving?
Well, I mean, I think it comes down to control. I think as long as we can control it, as long as we can control the outcomes, as long as the plan lines up the way we want it to line up, as long as everything goes the way we planned it to, we're good. When things begin to shift, that's when fear comes in. And so I think that is the picture of our walk with God. I mean, that's why the scripture tells us, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. And I think a lot of Christians, when they come into the walk and they begin to walk with Jesus, they have an expectation that everything is going to go good. Even though they know that it's life and things are going to go wrong, there's still this expectation, and there's still, for lack of better words, there's an entitlement to goodness, so to speak.
Wow.
Or an entitlement to happiness.
Can you camp out on that for a little bit? Why do we feel entitled?
Sometimes it's how preachers preach. There's a lot of preachers, there's a lot of messages that tell you just give your life to God and he's going to work it out. Jesus is going to work it out.
We used to sing that growing up, though.
How about this? Won't he do it?
Yeah. Joy
Joy comes in the morning. However, we don't necessarily like to focus on weeping may endure for a night. We don't like to focus on the fact that if he's turning it around, that means it was going in the wrong direction.
That's good.
Or at least we thought it was going in the wrong direction. We don't like the idea that God could be moving in something while we're feeling pain in it. How about this? Those that suffer with me will reign with me.
That's good.
See, that's the real Bible. That's the Bible that people don't like to talk about. That's the Bible that oftentimes we read these stories and we read about courage. We read about all of these exploits, but all of those exploits was in the midst of very, very fearful, terrifying situations. Can you imagine Moses at the Red Sea, and he brought these people out here to the Red Sea, and they don't have nowhere to go?
And what if they can't swim?
I mean, they done. I mean, that's the reality of, can you swim yet?
Yes.
By faith.
I am an Olympic swimmer.
In your dreams.
In my dreams, I am an Olympic swimmer, which means all I got to do is do what's in my mind and what's in my heart. And I'm really an Olympic swimmer for real. I know how to do it. I just ain't do it yet. It's almost like when I ask you.
Hold on.
No, wait.
Okay. So you really sounded.
I got to bring it around though. It's almost.
Yeah, I mean, you sounded very convincing.
Because I am. Listen, let me show you how. Let me show you why it's true.
Okay, go ahead.
Do you know when I ask you if you've ever done something, like when you say to me,
okay.
"Hey, I can build you a porch swing.
Mm-hmm.
I could build you one," and I'm like, "All right."
You're talking about when I say to you, I can build you a porch swing.
Yeah, you tell me I can build a porch swing.
Yes.
And I ask you, have you ever built one? And what you say?
No.
Have you ever even watched somebody build one?
No, but I know.
But what happens? What happens when you take what's in your mind and what's in your heart and you press play? What happens?
You do it.
You do it.
Okay.
And what's on our porch right now?
A porch swing.
That's right. So you put me.
Okay. I'm putting you in the water. I'm gonna take you up on that. I'm gonna put you in the water.
I was just playing. I believe though that I'll be all right.
You can.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm you know.
But that's
all right.
But the reason why you can because I actually taught you how to swim on our 2nd anniversary. You just didn't believe it. All right, let's move on.
You actually taught me how to almost die. That's what you taught me.
No, I taught you how to swim. All you got to do is go back to what I taught you and you'll be floating. You'll be making it happen. But think about this. Think about like this idea. The reason why you won't do it.
The reason why I won't do what?
Just take swimming, for instance.
Okay.
The reason why you don't is because...
Are you saying the reason why I don't swim? Because I just told you I can swim.
Yeah, you can swim, but
I don't swim as much.
No. No, you never swim. The reason why you don't is because of...
Fear.
As a fear. I think that is...
But can you correct never, though? Because, you know...
No. I can't.
Never is like 100%
Okay.
You have never swam.
You've never swam in deep water.
Well, I have. I just can't stop. I have to keep going. Because if I stop...
Okay. No, you won't. You're about to say, if you stop, you're going to go. No, you won't. You'll keep going.
I'll keep going.
Yeah, you'll stay up.
Okay.
But think about this as far as like fear. It's one of those things. I can guarantee you, like right now, people watching this, they're facing different fears.
Right.
There's abilities in them, like there's abilities in me, like there's abilities in you that we don't realize and we don't walk in because of fear. That there's pictures of in our mind when we think about actually what we're called to do or what we feel like we're called to do. And the reason why we don't do it is because we fear we're not going to be successful. We fear we're going to fail. We fear that it won't work.
We fear rejection.
We fear rejection from people. We fear that we're going to lose it all. All of those types of things that we face. And it's a big reason why many people are unfulfilled. Many people are unfulfilled. They don't walk in the significance that God has called them to walk in because they're afraid. Also, because sometimes when you begin to walk into what you're called to walk into, there's going to be some adversity.
Right.
Like you gotta you got to fight for it. You hear what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got this statement that you make. It's actually, you got this statement that you make, and you say to yourself, and I don't know where you got it from, but you say it often. You say, "Do it afraid."
Oh, I know what I got that from.
Where do you get that from?
Byron.
Byron. Shout out to Byron.
Shout out to Byron. Got a lot of stuff I got from him, actually.
Yeah. Hurt on the move.
Hurt on the move, cry on the way. Come on. Come on.
Shout out to Byron and Nicole. So, I mean, think about that. Like, what would you say to people who are paralyzed by fear? Like, and maybe have a calling, maybe have a business, an idea, maybe like they're dating and they won't get married because they are afraid to take on the responsibility. Man, get some courage about yourself.
Please.
Go ahead and, if you know, here's what we say. Are you planning to break up? If you're not planning to break up, then go ahead and make the plan to stay together.
Yeah, make the plan to stay together.
Plan to stay together.
Right. It doesn't mean just automatically get married, but make the plan to stay together.
But the point of it is just, what would you say to someone who is paralyzed, feel like they can't move because of fear?
Yeah, I mean, one, you're not the only one that deals with it, right? Mm-hmm. I think a lot of times when we realize that that what we are facing and what we are feeling is not abnormal, that there are other people who have not just felt it, but there are other people who have faced it. So sometimes we've got to put in front of us people or scenarios that reveal to us that you're going to be all right.
Yeah.
Like you're going to be all right. Sometimes we need that encouragement. We need that reassurance that you're going to be all right. And sometimes that comes from, seeing someone else do it.
That's right.
Why are you laughing?
Because that's what I say.
What you say?
So when you'll say, "Have you done it?" I'll say, "No." But if somebody else did it,
you can do it.
Yes. That's
the same thing I say about swimming.
Lord have mercy.
Somebody else done it, I could do it. You see what I'm saying? Ain't nothing to it, But put something else in front of you that can provide a template for movement for you, right? The most important thing that we put in front of us is the Word of God.
Yes.
That is the thing that that can at all times reassure us that you're gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay. And sometimes okay doesn't mean, and you kind of hit this earlier, okay doesn't mean that everything is okay.
That's right.
But it means that you're gonna be okay, right? Yes. And sometimes that feels and look different than what we expect it to look like. But if you can continue, and this sounds real cliche, but if you can continue to put one foot in front of the other. So a lot of times fear grips us and it paralyzes us, right? We've got to think ourselves sometimes out of scenarios. We've got to talk to ourselves. We got to encourage ourselves, because sometimes we may not have somebody close to us in the moment that can pull us out of a scenario or cause us to snap out of it. Like sometimes we've got to talk to ourselves and encourage ourselves and be our own cheerleader to say, look, you got to come on, man. Like you got to get up. You got to snap out of it. You got to move. You got to go. And sometimes we got to call ourselves to it. But again, the courage that it takes to do that, it has to come from something. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So, as a Christian, it comes from what I've filled myself with the word and with prayer. So I've got to reach back to something that's already in there, right? So it can help propel me and push me to move forward.
Yeah. I think you said something extremely important. Sometimes people don't overcome their fear because their circle is wrong. They got the wrong circle of people.
That's good.
Because a lot of what you said was, again, you said sometimes you don't have the circle or you don't have anybody to cheer you on. But a lot of what you're saying is when you look at other people doing it, when you look at somebody else walking in what you're called to do, when you're inspired by someone else who is walking a similar path, that's what Paul said, be imitators of me. I think the reason why God came in the flesh was to show us that it could be done, to show us how to really surrender our life, to lay our life down. But one of the biggest mistakes that people make is that they try to overcome their fear by themselves. Or they try to overcome their fear in the midst of fearful people. And
that would be difficult.
And it's very, very difficult when you don't have faith around you to try to kick the ceiling open or break through. It's just hard to do that. I remember this situation that we had with my youngest son, Elon.
Okay.
So Elon, all his life, he loves like the toy guns. He always loved toy guns. So for his 12th birthday, it was 12th or 13th birthday or something like that, he had an opportunity to go to the gun range.
Oh yeah. He's been waiting.
He's been begging. He had been begging for me to take him to the range for probably 2 years. So we get to the gun range. We get there and we're in the range. He's in the range. He's right there. And in that moment, he has it. I'm right there with him. I'm like, all right, go ahead and do it, son. And he is terrified. Like he has his hand, he's terrified, and he's like, I can't do it.
Which is different than what I expected. I was like, oh, he gonna get in there and it's gonna be like Christmas for him.
No, it was totally the opposite.
Wow.
So I'm sitting right there and I'm saying, all right, son, here's what you need to do. We're gonna count to 3. I'm just gonna hold it with you. Count to 3, and you're just gonna pull the trigger. 1, 2, 3. I can't do it, Dad.
Oh.
He said, I can't. He said, I can't do it, Dad. And I'm like, man, you've been waiting on this your whole life, man.
You've been waiting your whole life.
You've been waiting on this your whole life. Get him up there again. I can't do it. Keeps telling me, I can't do it, Dad. So I get to a point that I'm like, all right, we don't have to do it now. We can come back and do it another time. But he wants to do it, but he's afraid to do it. And here's all we're talking about. We're talking about probably a half an inch between what he's doing or not doing and what he wants to do.
Wow.
Just a half an inch of a finger move is standing between him and what he wants to do.
Right. Okay. Can we pause there?
Yeah.
Because sometimes we feel like that distance is like it's wide. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like we respond as if it is wide.
Yes.
But really, it's
a decision.
It's a decision away.
It's a half-inch decision away. So I walk away. I'm like, well, it's okay. It's okay, son. You don't have to. But he stays in the booth because he wants to do it, but he just can't find the strength to do it.
Can I pause again?
Yeah.
Don't lose your thought, because this
Okay.
is good.
Okay.
But the fact that as a father,
Yeah.
right, you know what's in him,
Mhm.
you know what he wants to do, you know that there's really a small distance between what he really wants to do and the fact that he's not doing it.
Yes.
Right? But when you sense that he's still not ready,
Mhm.
right? You give him grace.
Yeah. Yeah.
You give him grace. You say, okay, maybe another time,
Yeah.
right? Because there are some times we don't get that,
Mhm.
right? Either we don't get it from other people.
Mhm.
We feel like God doesn't give us that grace. Like we feel like God is,
And God is a way better father
come on, man.
than me.
Because, you know, sometimes in certain situations, even as parents, as in certain situations, because this is a very telling situation about how God is to us. But sometimes as parents, when we see the potential of our kids and all they got to do is just like take that one step, right? Sometimes we're not as graceful and be like, okay, well, maybe next time. Yeah. Sometimes we like, boy, if you don't get yourself across that line.
Yes.
No,
yes.
You not leaving until you do it.
Yeah. I've been there.
Me too.
I've been there.
Me too.
Not this situation.
Not
though.
this one.
Yeah, not this. This was, again, you know, only reason he's there is because he wanted to. You know, I've never had a desire to say, hey, you need to.
Right.
That's just because he wanted to.
Yeah.
But a half an inch, man.
Yeah.
I think about that because he wanted to do it, but he was afraid of the outcome. He didn't know what to expect on the other side. So here's what I did. There was a police officer there with us, Officer George.
Shout out to Officer George.
So I brought Officer George over there with me to try to encourage him. He's trying to encourage him. Officer George could not get him to do it. And so he wouldn't move. I finally came back. He stayed there long enough. And I think when I told him, I got to a point that I told him, all right, so let's just put it up. I think the regret.
That I was about to say. It's that, and we talked about this last time.
The regret of not being who you are and being who you're called to be is worse than the failure that you may face on the other side of it. I'm telling you, the regret of not doing and being who God has put inside of you to be is way worse than the failure that you perceive or the false evidence that appears real, fear that you perceive is way worse. So
you can speak that because you've experienced it.
Oh yes, I've experienced
it. When you can experience regret to that degree, it's one of the things.
And we're talking from
absolutely,
a real place.
Absolutely. So for me, when I get into those spaces of fear that grips me, that's another thing that I tap back into. I tap back into what it felt like to experience regret. Regret is...
Oh, it's heavy.
It is a heavy feeling. Yeah. That will get you to, and I think that's what Elon felt in that moment.
Yeah. So I walked back over to him. You know, he's at a moment that he knows, okay, if I don't do it now, we're about to close this down and it's going to be done. Like, I don't know when I'm coming back. So talk to him, get his hand. I put his hand on that, son. Look, all you have to do is just a half inch.
All you have to do, son. It's just a
half inch. Just pull it. We're going to count to 3. We go about 2 or 3 more minutes. And now he's crying.
Oh God.
Not like boo crying, but tears. But he's not crying because he's afraid. He's crying because he desires to do it. And he can't find the courage to just go a half an inch. But let me tell you something. I learned something. We finally got to a point. We counted it off and he went a half an inch and he pulled that trigger. Now, let me just tell you, after he pulled that trigger that one time, dude just went crazy. I mean, I'm like, man, what in the world?
Calm down, bruh.
Yeah,
hey,
so
calm down.
When he did it and he realized everything that he imagined in his head was not real. Every outcome that he imagined in his head was not real. He realized, oh, I can do this. And I think that's the story of a lot of people. I think that's the story of us many seasons. I think that's the story of many people who are watching now, that there's something in you. There's a desire in you to do something and be who God called you to be, or even from the standpoint of being a witness for Jesus.
Yeah.
Like telling people about Jesus, or living out your faith in a way that you're unapologetically a Christ follower.
Yeah.
You know, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I definitely want you to continue to expound on that. But I want to mention something about the story of Elon in the gun range. That day when he came home, because I wasn't with you guys, when he came home and he told me the story about the gun range, I never knew the other side of the story.
Oh, he didn't tell you?
Nah, bruh, nah. He came in like, Ma.
Ain't that like that? But that's why Christians are messed up when they come into challenges, because we don't tell people the real story.
Okay, so that's good. Okay, you got to pause on that, because that's another side of what we need to bring out.
All right.
Can you stop hijacking my story though?
Yeah.
But that's good. Can you pause on that though? Because we need that. All right. People do not tell.
I forgot.
No, people don't tell the whole story. Like you don't tell the whole story. But this is what happened with Elon though. He came in, he was like, yo, Ma, you know, his shoulders were like they were like back. He was like, you know, guess what I did today? So I'm like, dude, I wish I was there, whatever you did, but like, tell me. And he told the story and he didn't tell that part. I never knew that part. But this is what that said to me, because there's two perspectives of that. When you get to a place that you have overcome fear and you step into what you're called to do.
Yeah.
It's almost like what God does with us with sin. Once we ask God for forgiveness and we turn our heart towards him and we begin to walk towards him, he remembers our sin no more. Like, he's like, what is that? Like, what? What are you talking about? Like, what sin are you talking about? And I feel like Elon not only experienced he not only experienced God in you when you gave him grace to just, you know, if it's not time yet, it's not time.
That's right.
Right. But when he finally got the courage to do it and he did it, he no longer remembered what kept him from doing it before.
That's right.
So now I know for sure, when he faces that thing again,
it's going to be different. Or something like it.
It's going to be different. It's going to be different because he's experienced what it's like to get out the boat. He's experienced what it's like to put one foot in front of the other. He's experienced what it's like to close the distance, the half-inch distance, right? And so that's one part of him that made him forget. Like, he chose to forget. It ain't like
That's right.
Because he knew the other side of the story.
Yes, he knew the other side. But I came right in and told
you told the other side of the story. So in one part, it helps us understand how God doesn't judge us by what kept us from doing it. He rewards us when we do it.
Yes. Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Because we've put faith not just in our own ability, but it takes God.
That's
in this
right.
situation. It takes God to be able to help us do it. But the other side of that is what you brought out, which is very, very important.
Yeah.
Very important. Yeah. Because even though Elon didn't speak it to me because it didn't define him, when we got to a place where because you came in and you brought out, let me tell you the whole story. And I know he was like, I didn't know he was going to tell that part. But when you begin to tell that part, he began to embrace the whole story. We kind of talked about this last time as well, right? When you embrace the totality of the story, it helps you appreciate each piece of the story.
That's right.
Right? So when you begin to talk about it, then I saw something different happen in him, where now he realized he didn't have to erase that part of the story, right?
That's right.
To be a conqueror in the story.
That's right.
That he can actually tell this other side of the story.
That's right.
Right? And it actually caused me to appreciate what happened even more. Because I'm like, oh, you told it like you just came in blazing, but really this was a story about courage.
That's right.
Elon.
That's right.
Like you gotta tell me what it took for you to get there.
Yeah.
So I appreciated the story even more when I realized, oh, this dude had like tears. Like real tears was coming down your eye.
Real tears.
Yeah, he had to be very afraid in order to do that. But the fact that he experienced that and still got to a place where he stepped into what he knew he could step into, that's what made me proud.
Yeah. See, courage is not doing it in the absence of fear. Courage is doing it in the presence of fear. That's what courage is.
Yeah.
And I think this has been on my heart for two reasons. One reason is because we face different types of fears in every season. The more you go into God and the more you go into the call of God or whatever God has called you to do, Paul said, a great door of opportunity has been opened to me, but there's much adversity or there's many adversaries. I know we face these things, but I know that there's a lot of people like out there right now that's facing that, and they're afraid, they're gripped with fear. I said this before, I don't know who came up with this, but fear is false evidence appearing real.
Somebody's pastor did.
Yeah, somebody's pastor did. I didn't come up with it, so don't quote me for saying that. I'm just repeating what I heard. But a lot of times, the reason what's in between you and what you're called to do is even tighter or smaller or tinier than a half inch. It's a decision to do. It's a decision to go. And one of the things that I feel is like in between that, like stepping into what God has called you to do is just this place of being, paralyzed by trying to fix the outcomes before you actually take the step.
Wow.
That's just not how faith works. And I think when we read the Bible, we love the story of the Moses. Not the Moses, but we love we love the story of Moses. We love the story of Peter walking on water. We love the story of Abraham leaving his father's land and walking out. It's the story of faith for everybody. We love the story of David, facing Goliath. We love all of these stories. We love to read them. We don't love to experience them. And I think a part of the reason why we don't like to experience them is because when we read them on the page, we look at it on the page, we already know the outcome.
Wow.
But when you're walking through it, when you're walking through the valley of the shadow of death, or the valley of the shadow of failure, the valley of the shadow of people rejecting you, the valley of the shadow of being misunderstood, of losing it all, of laying your whole life down, when you're walking through that, now you got to feel it.
Right.
And it's one thing to know what God has called you to do, but it's another thing to feel the pain and the pressure and the sacrifice of actually walking out a calling. And I believe there's people like listening to us right now that God is speaking to you like right now to get out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
Like step out of your comfort zone, step out of your routine, do it differently, do it the way that God has called you to do it. Now, here's the thing. The other part of it is this, is that there's a real devil that's going to tell you lies.
Right.
And he's going to bring out every time you failed to prove to you that the plan that you have planned is not God's plan, is your plan, and that plan too that plan also is going to fail. But when you step into the will of God and what God has called you to do is different. Now, here's what we all have to do. We have to get a word from God, number one, and leave the outcomes in his hand. Plan as much as you can. Like, I believe in planning. I believe in preparing. But at a certain point, I see people that have been planning to do something and planning what they've been called to do. And they're just like, hey, the only reason they haven't done it is not because they don't feel like it's time, but it's because they're just afraid. You know, sometimes you just have to do it afraid.
Exactly.
Like you said, babe.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like Byron said.
Like Byron said. Yeah, like Byron said, do it afraid. You know, I think for me, as we are in this journey, as we're launching this church, A18, there's some people like right now, listening to us right now, that you're stale. It's not working.
Right.
You need to be stirred up in your heart. You need to be stirred up in your spirit. And the Lord is telling you, hey, you need to do something different. There's some people listening to us right now, right here on this podcast, that you're listening to us and you are hurt by the church, or you're not by the church. The hurt has a name.
Yes.
It's not the church. You were hurt by a person in the church, and you drifted away, and you've been trying to find your way back, because even where your hurt calls you to go, that ain't working either. And God is saying to you, you need to do something different. You need a different circle. You need a circle of faith around you. Not a circle that's going to promise you the world and under-deliver, but a circle that's going to tell you, even in the midst of your trial and your challenges, you're going to be okay. You just got to keep walking. You just got to keep taking steps.
Yeah.
And I would say to you, if that's you, you need to think about this journey that you need to walk out with some people. And I think there's just a call to rejuvenate people, to bring people back, or resuscitate people, bring them back to life again, because life be lifing, man.
Always.
It is tough. There's a lot of things that happen, but even in the midst of however tough it is, God is with you in it. God was with David in the cave of Adullam. God was with Jonah in the belly of a whale. God was with Paul when he was stoned and left for dead. And God will be with you. God will be with us.
Yeah.
But we have to keep getting up and walking towards and facing our fears, knowing what we're called to do, knowing where we're called to go, and walking it out with courage.
Yeah. And not only is God with us, but God gives us people to walk alongside us.
That's right.
Right? And so thank God that we can be intentional about the circle.
That's right.
That you talked about.
That's right.
That we don't have to do this alone. That not only can we do this with God, but we can also do it with a godly community. We can do it with people who have our best interests at heart. And people who have our best interests at heart, they're able to say the hard, right? They're able to ignite a fire in us sometimes and call us to courage. Like we need those people around us. So we encourage you to get a group of people around you who can help walk you through this thing. And again, that's one of the things that we desire to do, not just as people, we desire to do it as a part of A18 Church, that we get the opportunity to walk alongside people that we can help people find courage, because it's not only is it that God sees you, but there are people around you that can see you.
That's right.
And we can pull courage from a lot of places if we just allow. That's right. If we just allow ourselves to be in community that the Lord desires for us.
And there's people that need you to be you.
Just be you.
Just, man, authentically you, be you. And
the authentic you, though, that you can put before the Lord.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And he can deal with the authentic you.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So.
Well, I need you to be you.
Man, I can't be nothing else. It's too hard to be anything else other than me.
Yeah. I don't want you to be nothing else but you.
Same here.
Praise
Be you, Dunson.
You're not supposed to call me Dunson. Anyway, let's go.
Let me tell you why I call you Dunson.
Why?
Dunson is like the most informal, formal name I can give to you.
Okay. You can call me Pastor. All right. All right. All right. Hey.
Never mind.
Hey, look, if you made it to the end of this podcast, you're a champion. You got a gift. What is the gift? When we think about what we talked about, courage, fear, let me just tell you, one of the greatest equalizers of fear, or the greatest equalizer of fear, is a relationship with the one who conquered death. The scripture tells us that Jesus came to save those who through the fear of death were all their lifetime subject to bondage. You may not know it, but the real fear, the real bondage that you face is a fear of eternal death. And God has put that in our heart for a reason. And he has provided a way out. He's provided relationship. He's provided love. He's provided eternity through his son, Jesus Christ. And if you've never received him, if you've never accepted Jesus, look, listen to the Holy Spirit. Listen to your heart. He's speaking to you right now. Get out of your head. Get in your heart. You know he's real. You know God is calling you. Surrender your life and make the decision. You can't fix it on your own. You can't fix your life on your own. You cannot fix your boredom. You cannot fix your fears. But Jesus will give you a new spirit so that he can bring the peace that surpasses all understanding. And that peace is knowing that no matter what happens in this world, when the world goes down, ultimately, we all, as believers, as followers of Christ, we go up. We go up to meet him in the sky, and forever we'll be with him. So if that's you, today you should choose Jesus to be your Lord and Savior. Just surrender. Just have a conversation. Ask him to come into your life. Talk to him in the same tone, same way I'm talking to you right now. And that is the gift that we all need.
That's the gift.
Well, look, it was great being with you. We're going to see you again for our next podcast that'll be coming up next week. We'll see you soon.